Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. If this is your first time tuning in, hello, welcome, hi, get up in here. Thank you. Please join us. Follow us on YouTube at Inappropriate Radio TV. No periodic table or alien talk. However, you already know the creator came through with a message. Okay, there's actually a few different things that the creator wanted to touch on. I had some concerns, and he was telling me just leave it alone. Wait until the downloads are gonna come, and then we will discuss it. But he did want me to tell you guys to go back through the segments all the way up until the spring of last year. Look at the dates that the topics were released and compare them to the time frame that we're currently in now, and it should be about a year's time. A lot of the things, I just had a spiritual belch, excuse me. A lot of the things we've discussed, and then he instructed me to start to post those things on my social media platforms. So if you haven't been kept abreast on things that have been going on, number one, the army is sending out these letters like telling people that they have to go and fight the war, right? Like we talked about that, being aware of the different laws and bills that are being passed in your states, right? So that was the first one. Then we talked about the different people coming from other countries who are going to start having influence, okay? Whether it's going to be a spiritual thing that they're going to do, or they're just going to come here and start acting fucking crazy as hell. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but the Venezuelan gangs, as well as some of the Mexican gangs, including the cartel, has been going to different areas, particularly Colorado and Chicago, okay, trying to intimidate the people there and like taking over apartment complexes and buildings and just kind of like attacking the residents, all right? Now, if you are from an area where it's rough, it's like one of those places where people might not want to like be walking around at nighttime and things like that, your area may be subject. There's a lot of different theories as to why this is going on. I don't want to get into the politics of it because that would be me just repeating all of the things that other people have seen, have said, and have alluded to. I have gotten my own downloads in regards to this, so I don't want to say too much or do too much because I'm aware that it can literally lead to, we know that the mouth is a sword, and we know that it is a portal, and we have to be very careful of the things that we say because we can attract those things. I don't want to say too much that is not real and then make it real because I'm believing what I'm saying, right? However, we've even talked about the influence that the children of these people will have on our children and how we need to safeguard them and spiritually protect them, especially in spaces where there is more adult, more kids present than adults, like schools and gyms and, things like that, okay? Also, we have to make sure that there are safeguards that we can't trust other people to safeguard our children in our communities, in our homes, in our businesses. We have to implement systems of our own in order to maintain. Remember, we talked about the maintenance. Safeguarding is one of the main things that you want to include in maintaining all of the new blessings that you've been getting within the past year or two, okay? And hey, this is not for me. I want to make that clear. I'm not projecting. I don't have children, and my blessings just started coming this year, okay? I mean, like the physical blessings, right? I've known certain things to be true. Certain things were revealed to me, and I was removed from certain of those things, but the physical, the things that I can touch, they just started, okay? So this download isn't even like to me, about me, for me type shit, right? All right, next, moving right along. So, the next thing that I believe we need to pay attention to is the different spiritual and scientific combinations that are be going on, right? So other than like whether an animal's fucking acting like humans, which we've talked about that as well, this segment is kind of like a recap because the creator told me to start posting these things that we've discussed so far that are happening. So, and he also wanted to make sure that those of you who are listening and following along are seeing this shit for yourself. It's no fucking way. I can't control the media, right? And I have very limited control over the things that's going on the podcast. I mean, I could easily just make some shit up, right? But that's not what we do here. We have real communication with the creator. We have real direct relationship with the ethers, okay? So this doesn't have to be one of those things where I'm like fucking faking or seen as like a fake or a fraud. Like this is some real life shit right here. All right. So we need to make sure we are fully enthralled into the things that, you know, have been sent to bless us, right? None of the things that we make contact with, none of the things that we put ourselves in the midst of is out of reach. Everything that's accessible to you can be used to attack you, and it can also be used to bless you. It's all about how you perceive it. Your perception and your perspective on that thing is going to determine the outcome, right? The end result. Of course, God has the final say so, right? And there are things that need to be addressed in order for us to realize and understand how blessed we actually are. And learning how to tap into those things is important, okay? So, and your ability to not tap into something, it doesn't mean that you're not blessed. It just means that the creator didn't have you tap into whatever that thing is. So it's not really a big deal. No one is going to get hurt. We're all safe. Everyone is fine. Everything we have tied ourselves to, physically or spiritually, is connected to a different version of us somewhere. Okay, whether it's the future version of yourself in this dimension, whether it's the you from the past, you know, this dimension from a different timeline, whether it's you from a completely different dimension, same timeline, right? I'll give you an example of that. Who you are in your dream state is a different version of you, right? In a different dimension on this same timeline. This same dimension on a different timeline could be you in your past life. Maybe you died 10 months ago and you were reborn. I don't think any of us were born 10 months ago. I'm just using that as an example, okay? So if you know any children that have recently passed away, and then if you know any children that have recently been born, that might be a good example, right? Like, let's just say a 5-year-old passed away, and then the mother of that 5-year-old had a baby, you know, after that. it could very well be that same kid coming back. And those are two different timelines, right? Same dimension. So that's what I mean by that. Most of the times we find ourselves in situations, right, that they don't appeal to us in certain ways. And we always have this mindset and this misconception that we are such good people. And we might be good people, but your mindset is going to tell you how good of a person you are. Nothing that is presented to you doesn't come from the hand of the Creator. Remember, these people that are attacking, they have to get the permission. I'm sorry, my phone is going off. But yeah, remember, these entities, these demons, these lower vibrational anything, they have to get permission from the Creator to even come towards you, okay? And remember, a lot of these people from other cultures, the way that they perceive magic, voodoo, brujeria, obia, whatever you want to call it, witchcraft, manipulation, voodoo, hoodoo, I don't know, reading a palm scripture out the Bible. I don't know. Whatever you want to refer to it as, a lot of people, that is their religion, right? See, in the States, you have Christianity, right? This really big umbrella. And then all of these different, sects under it. You can be a Baptist. You can be Pentecostal. You could be a Catholic. You could be a Jew. You could be, 70 evangelists. You could be Jehovah's Witness, right? Then you have Islam. You could be a Sunni. You could be a Shiite. You could be a Nation of Islam, right? Then we have Satanism. Of course, we have Hinduism, which is the oldest religion on record, as far as today's knowledge will tell you. But overall, this is it, okay? When you go to other cultures, not even countries, when you go to other cultures, it could be right here. I'm just saying, in American culture, it's very limited, right? Of course, we have like Scientology, and it's not really that many, right? Before they start to spring off and take you into different cultures and different countries. When you look at other cultures now, the things that we consider to be spirituality, even what we consider to be like poor mental health, right? Or people who are suffering from different mental and emotional situations, right? That is considered very spiritual as far as other cultures are concerned. You don't even have to leave the country to gain access or a slightly more informed understanding, right, of the different, customs and beliefs as it pertains to other cultures, right? Of course, when you go to other countries, you'll get a more refined understanding and version of those different traditions and beliefs and, religions and things like that. But all in all, this isn't something that you just like make up out of, goddamn thin air. This shit goes on and people live by this shit. If you go to Haiti right now, they're practicing voodoo at least 90% of the country, right? If you go to Jamaica, they're practicing at least 78% are Rastafarians. And even being a Rasta is considered to be Christian. That's a whole different story, but you get the gist of what I'm saying, okay? Please go back around the spring of last year and look at the news and compare it, all right? And then check my social media out. But I'm going to end it here. I do love you all. I hope you guys are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it's free. I love y'all. Peace.